overcast and kind of a cold afternoon. Here's the Braves lineup, which has one significant change. Claudell Washington leads off in right field. Rafael Ramirez bats second at short. Dale Murphy hits third in center field, and Bob Horner in the cleanup spot at third base. Terry Harper is in left field batting fifth. And for the first time in 25 games, Chris Chambliss gets a start at first base. Gerald Perry got a great run, 24 straight starts. He did not hit, and so Chambliss in there today. Rick Cerone will hit seventh behind the plate. Glenn Hubbard hits eighth at second base. And pitching and batting ninth, Rick Mahler. Mahler is 8-4 on the year with an ERA of 3. 1-0 this season against the Cubs, and lifetime he is 3-3. Now let's check out the Chicago Cubs. Cubs have just started to hit, and just a game and a half out. Bob Denier leads off in center field. Chris Spire will play second base. Bat second. Ryne Sandberg was a late scratch. He has a pulled rib muscle, and he'll sit out at least one more day. Davey Lopes takes over for Gary Matthews, is on the DL. Davey Lopes has been great as a fill-in. He bats third in left field. The Bull Leon Durham bats fourth at first base. Keith Moreland hits fifth in right field. Jody Davis will bat sixth behind home plate. Ron Cey at third base batting seventh. Larry Boa at shortstop batting eighth, and pitching and batting ninth will be Dick Ruthven. Well, I see that Davey Lopes has been scratched because Thad Bosley is out in left field. We'll have to check and see if Bosley will hit third in the order. Davey Lopes took batting practice and was hitting the tar out of the ball. Now that's Thad Bosley. That isn't Davey. So Bosley in left field. We'll have to find out when they come up if he is batting third. There you see the Cub defense. Ernie has told you who the umpires are. Claudell Washington leads off for the Braves against Dick Ruthven, who has an 11-4 lifetime record against the Braves. And we're all set to go, and here's Ernie.
Thank you very much. The first pitch is a strike call. We're underway from Wrigley Field. It's a hotbed of Major League Baseball. They've drawn about 25,000 each time they play. They're over $500,000 for the year, and they won the East last season. Ruthven with the next pitch. It's down low. It's always a lot of fun to come here. This park very similar to being close to the players, just like Fenway Park in the American League. Here's a 1-1. Curveball low inside. You can just smell the hot dogs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Claudell leading it off, top of the first. He'll be followed by Ramirez. Well hit to right field, up in that air. That ball is back toward the wall. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. It is out of here. Claudell Washington. Wrigley Field has given up home run number 1. The wind going out that way a little bit. Could have been just the answer. Washington makes it 1-0. Here's Ramirez. Number 6 for C-Dub. They just leave off the W now. They just call him C-Dub.
By the way, I'd like to make one change. Now I see Davey Lopes is in center field and not Denier, so we'll have to figure out the Cubs batting order when they come up.
Low and away. They made no announcement, incidentally, up here about the change.
That was really a late scratch. Denier, a very late scratch.
Well, they had 2 scratches. At first, they had Sandberg in at second base. He's got a bruised rib, and they let him hit, and then he said that it's just hurting him too much, so they substituted Chris Spire, and now they've had 1 other change. They've been hit by injuries. You've got to admire the way the Cubs have played without 2 of their best pitchers. That's line toward right center, sinking in for a base hit. Ramirez with a single to right center.
Anyone who's followed the Braves know that Atlanta has had a terrible year at bat. Dale Murphy's been phenomenal, and the rest have been lagging behind, and the Braves really need a boost. They need a spark. Maybe Claudell's leadoff home run. The last time Claudell led off a game with a home run Friday night in Pittsburgh, the Braves won that ball game. So maybe the Braves going to get a boost coming out of the gate quickly.
It's the 3rd home run by Claudell on this short trip. As John mentioned, he led off the game against the Pirates, and next night he had a home run the 2nd time up. Now Murphy. We're in the month of June. I might add that Murphy, who had such a great April, his RBI production fell off to 8 RBIs in the month of May. This has always been a good hitter's park. Look at that stretch position by Ruthven. He's always had a problem holding runners on base. He must feel comfortable that way, but very seldom do you see a pitcher hold the glove and ball that far away from his chest. This guy knows how to pitch, and over the years he's hurt the Braves with his good pitching. Curveball high, 2-0. Horner's on deck. The wind is blowing out toward right. Foul tip. 2 balls and a strike. Bobby Dews is coaching first, and Bobby Wine at third. Check that wind again. Bus comes to the ballpark. All the pitchers look at the flags. It's blowing in. Everyone wants to pitch. If it's blowing out, got a sore throat.
Well, Ernie Johnson sounds great as always, and even better today because his voice is coming at you in stereo on the Superstation.
The new dimension that we have on all our telecasts. Ramirez is going. There's a bouncer that's going to be past second into right field. It'll be a base hit. Spire couldn't get back to it. Now the Braves guessed right. They sent Ramirez. The Cubs sent Spire to cover. He tried to get back, but he couldn't.
Well, there's a great job of hitting by Murph. Hit and run is on. Second baseman's covering. And Murph was able to redirect the pitch to the right side. Just trying to get the ball on the ground. Let's look at his swing. That's an inside-out swing. And the ball just went by Spire. Sandberg might have gotten that ball, but the Braves now have first and third, no one out. And Ernie, you know this. It's time for the Braves to hop on somebody. The Braves have a lot of hurtings to give people. They've been saving them up as we see Jim Fry on the mound, on the way to the mound to visit with his right-handed Dick Ruthven. And it's very odd for the manager to make the first move. Usually he'll send his pitching coach Billy Connors out there.
They have no one warming up, and you can see everyone's bundled up here today. Even Murphy at first base with his arms crossed. It's probably low 50s right now, and it's not going to get much warmer. The forecast is not good for today or tomorrow, but maybe we can play between the raindrops. This is Bob Horner, who's had some good games here at Wrigley. First and third. Nobody out. Pitch is low, 1-0. We can pick up the signs quite well from Jody Davis. I don't know if we can read him or not, but we can see him. With nobody on, I think he's just using one sign. Ruthven with a 1-0. Good breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, the way that camera is set, and we seem to be so close to the catcher here, when you pitch at Wrigley Field, you almost feel the same way. It seems like home plate's only about 50 feet away from you. Maybe it's that brick wall, maybe it's the lack of foul territory, but you always feel like you're right on top of the hitter here. The 1-1 to Horner. Boy, that was close. 2-1.
I'll tell you one thing Joe Torre told me a couple of years ago. A lot more fun to play here than manage here. It is a great feeling for a hitter to come in here. Everything looks close.
With nobody out, 1 run in on a homer by Washington. And Horner takes low. 3-1. Harper's on deck. They still have no one loosening in their bullpen. They've had Sutcliffe miss 3 turns. They've had Steve Trout out, as Murphy wants to talk it over with Bobby Dews to make sure there's any sign on that he's got them straight. And even though they've had 2 of their best pitchers out, these guys, the Cubs, actually are game better than when they were disabled. Down low, the bases are loaded. So the second line pitching has helped the Cubs, but right now the Braves got a chance to do some good. The bases are loaded and nobody out. Horner walks.
Well, the way in the Cubs lineup, there really is, in essence, just one change. Bosley will lead off and play at left field. And you just move Davey Lopes from left field to center field. He'll hit in the same spot. Everyone else will, too. So Bosley will lead off in the bottom half of the inning. Braves have a chance now to get a big jump if they get a big hit here.
Harper, the batter. They're looking for a double play. Only one. Ron Cey made a pretty good play. It was not a double play ball, a run in. Give Harper an RBI and a ground out to third. Runners second and third now, 2-0.
The ball was chopped down by Terry, and Ron Cey made a nice short hop pickup. He took a look and then decided, hey, I better get one, and he got the sure one at first base. They're going to walk Chambliss, and there's good reason for it, too, because Chambliss, during his career, has worn out Dick Ruthven. He's hit just under 400 against Ruthven, so Chambliss will get the walk, and Cerrone will hit with the bases loaded and 2 out.
They start their pen. Larry Sorensen starts the throw for Chicago. Chambliss with an intentional pass. That loads him for Rick Cerrone. And they'll be back looking for another grounder. Only one out.
Excuse me, I think I said 2 out, 1 out.
Cerrone at 234. Ruthven will work from the stretch. And Rick will be looking for a ball up. Ruthven will try to keep it low for the grounder, but the hitter wants the ball up so he can at least get a sacrifice fly. 1-0. Strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, there's an atmosphere of baseball here at this ballpark you won't believe. And it's all because they've won so many in the last couple of years. Breaking ball. Cerrone chased a bad pitch. 1-2. Murphy's at third base. Horner's at second, and Chambliss is at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chris taking a couple of steps lead. Indicator set aside to confuse Horner at second, so he can't flash a sign. He had that curveball up, and boy, he got away with a bad pitch. And he knows it. Cerrone fouled it away. Hubbard's on deck. The occupants of the bullpen, you can see them in the background, have no cover today. Now the 1-2. High chopper. It is foul. It'll stay 1-2. This place seats around 35,000. Ivy-covered walls. And the big controversy, of course, is what are we going to do about lights as we get a shot of the ivy? If they make the World Series, what do you do? Because ABC wants all the games under lights. 1-2. Hit towards center field. Lopes plays it on the mound. A run in. Chambliss holds at second. Well, I thought I'd see a diving attempt at that ball right there because the ball won't roll on the natural grass. He played it on the bounce, and the Braves, I think, got a break there.
Oh, they got a great break there. Bobby Dernier puts that ball in his hip pocket. That's how defense can win games for you or lose games for you. We saw Spire just miss reaching back and getting Murphy's ground ball hit and run single to right. Here, Davey Lopes comes on and stops, unsure of himself out there. And a run scores on the base hit by Cerrone, so the Braves now lead it 3-0. And boy, a base hit give the Braves a fairly good lead in the first inning.
Well, why I said I thought Lopes would dive for the ball, I'm completely spoiled by Dale Murphy.
Yes.
Because Murphy leaves his feet and probably catches the ball, at least tries to smother it. Because on regular grass, it's not going to roll very far. On artificial turf, you play the ball entirely different. You play it similar to the way Lopes played that, as though he didn't want the ball to bounce over his head. And there's Jim Fry. The Braves took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs in Atlanta. Fly ball center. Corner will tag. I don't know if he'll come or not. Lopes. And it's a good thing Horner stayed at third. Hubbard's fly ball was not deep enough. Now Rick Mahler. Mahler beat the Cubs, not only with his arm, but with his bat in Atlanta for one of the wins. Last year, the Cubs won 9 out of 12 between these two ball clubs. Base is still loaded, 2 out. 1-0. Now the 1-0. Hit foul upstairs. Off to the right. Here's a 1-1. Hit to the mound. That'll do it. But not before Atlanta sends 9 to the plate and 3 touch home. They score 3 times. Chicago coming to bat. For his 9th win of the year. He'll face Bosley, Spire, and Lopes as the first 3. Rick with a good enough fastball that rides, and he tries to move it away from left-handed batters. Curves, sliders, and a lot of different change-ups on his curve. Bosley at 241. Part-time outfielder. He runs well. In the background, you can see a few umbrellas as it continues to sprinkle. Mahler's first pitch is a little bit high. His second pitch is a little bit low. And there's a high fly left. Harper along the line should catch it. And he does. That didn't have much carrying left. It travels to right now. The wind can shift at any time. Chris Spire, who's had a lot of stickers on his suitcase. He'd been with the Giants. He'd been with Montreal. Filling in for Sandberg, Chris Spire came up as a shortstop with San Francisco. Strike called 0-1. Little curve is over his head. Slow curve, line along the line. Hooking foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rain is picking up. Just like Terry Harper picked up the umbrella, got a few votes. The All-Star game this year will be played in Minneapolis. Ball strike 3. Same batter. First strikeout by Mailer. We have to remember this game has started late here in Chicago, and we have no lights to go to.
No,
rain
sir.
delay.
At the knees, fastball outside corner. Good pitch by Miller. That's right. If there are a couple of rain delays, this would be one of those suspended games. You know, the Cubs have a suspended game they're about to win. I think they lead San Diego like 4-2 in the 8th or so. When the Padres come back in again, they'll finish it.
Davey Lopes, he's done a good job here. He is 39 years old, and he's got to be the fastest 39-year-older around. He's stolen 15 bases, been caught once. And he hit that ball right past home. Lopes played several years with the Dodgers. He was a very fine second baseman. Then he went over to Oakland. Now with the Cubs, Leon Durham. 2 outs, a runner at first. Fastball over. That average is low for him. Durham's more a .280 hitter. I don't know if Lopes down 3 would attempt to steal, but Jim Fry gets you excited once in a while. As a team, they have stolen 61 bases and only been caught 13 times, so Fry has given the sign at the correct moment. Inside. 2 of their fastest players, however, are not playing today. That is Dernier and Sandberg. Dernier stolen 17 and Sandberg 15. Braves lead it 3-0. Bottom of the first. He is going. Pitch is swung on, miss. You can hold up, Mr. Lopes. As the slow curve got Leon Durham. That's it for the Cubs. We go to the second inning. 3-0 Atlanta. Fastball away. Ramirez is on deck. Good curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. You could see that snap off, couldn't you? There's a changeup. I could almost see Ruthven's fingers on top of the ball. So it might be a palm ball change. Or the straight change with the fingers loose. 2-1. High into the air and short left goes Boa. Bosley comes in. And what a battle he had. He hung on for the putout. Thad Bosley.
You saw Bosley just give the motion to Davey Lopes. The ball tailed off, and Bosley hung with it.
Ramirez had a single first time up. He later scored. Ball is high. Pretty good numbers right there. 2-0. Strike call. See these fat averages against Ruthven. Hard to believe he's 11-4 a lifetime against the Braves. But that's what his record is, 3-1. Most of those wins picked up when he was a member of the Phillies. He pitched for the Braves for a spell in the Andy Messersmith era. Davy Lopes, back in right center, makes the catch. Here's Dale Murphy. Murphy singled and scored in the first inning. He wants it outside, and the fastball is right on target. The curveball's fouled away, 0-2. Wants it inside, fastball, and he missed in there. You could see Jody Davis signal with his hands, I want it in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now he's going away. But he hung that curve, didn't he? And you can see him rub up the baseball. Out there again. Boy, he's getting away with some hanging curveballs. They're out of the strike zone, or he'd been hurt. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shook him off. Right up the elevator shaft. Davis can't quite make it. It'll stay 3-2. Jody Davis from Gainesville, Georgia. Two out, second inning. And a 3-2 again. Fouled away upstairs. The let-up is outside. Murphy walks. Well, the Braves' '1 choice in the draft yesterday is a right-handed pitcher, Tommy Green, from Whiteville, North Carolina High School. He's 6'5", 225, 17 years old. And I think this is a tribute to the young Tommy Green. He was the first high school player to be taken in the draft yesterday. Horner takes a strike. The Braves drafted 14th overall past year. Green in 110 innings had 248 strikeouts. Incredible. Murphy's back. Murphy has not stolen a base this year, but he hasn't been caught stealing either. Curve hit off the end of the bat foul. Tommy Green's ball club is heading into the state finals this weekend. He was 13-2 with an ERA 0.33. So it looks like the Braves got themselves a very fine pitcher. Of course, they have to sign him, and sometimes that is very easy to do, and other times a little difficult. But I'm sure that they will sign Mr. Green. Here's another 0-2. It foul up by third. Milt Thompson was a minor league player of the week and the month. Milt, fine outfielder playing at Richmond. He batted .471 this past week. No balls, 2 strikes. Murphy was standing right on the bag, and Ruthven thought he might catch him napping. Horner waiting on another 0-2. Curve is way outside, 1-2. Horner's batting .294 a lifetime against Ruthven. And the 1-2. Murphy's really leaning over there, and I think he was deking him. He was he was leaning like he was almost going to fall down. Let's see. He's not going. That's going to third. Sayan, a nice play, and they get Murphy on the fourth. The Penguin made a nice play going to his left to force Murphy at second base. We move to the bottom of the second. The Braves are up by 3. To be followed by Jody Davis. Moreland's had a good year. He's been a steady hitter all season. Got to remember the Cubs' batting average as a team much lower than it was last year. Batting only .238. Fly to left. Will it reach? It does. Keith Moreland reached out, looked like a curveball, and hit it just over the yellow line in left field at 3-1. His 4th home run, and that went to left field.
You see him hold his hands back. It was a change curve by Mela that really hung up there, and Moreland held his hands back and homered.
Jody Davis. Pitch is low and away.
By the way, if that graphic was true, you would have a scoop.
I guess they're talking about the Cubs team leads the National League.
Yeah, that would be their 49th, though.
Yeah. 2-1. Strike call, 2-2. Now it's their 41st home run as a team.
Shows you what happens to you when you read the notes.
Curveball in there. What a pitch. Jody Davis took that yo-yo curve, that real slow one, for a strikeout. He couldn't believe it.
That's the 3rd K, and you see how Jody gets frozen. That's a perfect pitch. Of course, the Cubs dugout did not think so. I'm sure they're saying, as you look at Jody and Jim Fry, that when the ball went over the plate, it was high. But it didn't look that way on our replay. But Jody is telling Terry Tatis something like that. Words to that effect.
Dirty Macafritz. Here's Ron Cey. Cey with a low batting average, but 9 homers, 21 RBI. Strike call. They's been on a tear. Missed outside. The Cubs come into this game only a game and a half behind New York. Montreal's 2 back. St. Louis 5. Then it's Philadelphia and Pittsburgh 12 off the pace. 1-1. Sidearm fastball in there. San Diego, they've lost 6 of their last 10. They lead Cincinnati by a game and a half. Houston 3. Dodgers 3.5. Then it's the Braves 8 and San Francisco 8.5. Mailer with a 1-2. Low. 2-2.
Okay, I want to apologize to someone who wrote up the Cub notes. They put the 0 with one of those slashes through it. Looked like an 8. Check my cheaters.
You just won't go to the classes, will you? 3-2.
Bing Crosby say I started playing slide trombone with notes whenever.
The on-deck hitter is Boa. You just joined us. It's 3-1 Atlanta. They get 3 in the first. We're now playing in the bottom of the second. Little nub to Hubbard. Hubb thought there were 2 outs. Need 1 more. Now Larry Boa. Speaking of Hubbard, Lynn Hubbard and 2 of their sons here. Daniel couldn't make it. They're hoping that they'll have 2 good days here. So far, it's, well, the umbrellas are down, so maybe we got a chance. Boa is another elder statesman. Toward right, and Claudel is going to go back and catch it. At out number 3 as Boa hit it well. A home run by Moreland makes it a 3-1 game as we go to the third.
For the entertainment of our audience, at any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Braves and the Turner Broadcasting System is prohibited.
And you saw the fans sitting outside the ballpark watching the game. They load up some of these roofs. Harper takes a strike. He shortened a bunt. And some got enclosed patios. Some of those places, they charge, and you can come on up and have a party. However, you don't need a ticket. I didn't check the infield here. Many times they keep the grass long at Wrigley Field in the infield, slow the ball down. And they will do that on occasion if they feel their infielders have lost a step. We're taking a check by Bobby Wine, but 2-1. That's hit hard. Nice play, Boa at short. What a play. Larry Boa shows you he's still got the reflexes even though he's in his late 30s. Harper scalded that ball.
Oh, he really did. And maybe Boa has lost a step, but he hasn't lost his great hands. Here's a great stop by Boa. That ball's hit like a rocket.
Chambliss, who was purposely passed the first time, takes strike 1. Now an 0-1. Boy, that was close. Strike 2 call. Cerrone's on deck. He had a pop fly single for an RBI first time up. Just inside. 2-2. The Braves with 4 hits and the Cubs with 2. 2-2 delivery. Low on a curve. 3-2. He wants a fastball away. But he was low and away. Chambliss walks for the second time. That's a fourth walk issued by Ruthven. One was intentional. Now Rick Cerone, who got an RBI first time up. This might be 2. It is. It goes 1-4-3. Sharply hit, but right to Ruthven. He started a double play. Hit Spire. As we go out, we'll take another look. That was a good stop by Ruthven. Quickly to Spire. On to first. And Cerone is doubled. We go to the bottom of the third. 3-1 Braves. Ruthven will lead it off. Batting .111 this year. And Mailer misses with a fastball. One-0. Had a pretty good cut, didn't he? 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, we hope that Mike and Margaret Mumma are watching down in Ridgely, West Virginia. Their son-in-law is working a center field camera here today. And that is looped at a center field base hit. There's Bruce Moselle, who's running the center field camera.
And talking to a pretty girl.
I hope that's his wife.
I don't know.
I'm sure it is. She's helping him out.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. One on and nobody out. Pitch to Bosley. Of course, everybody has fans. Ruthven single to center field, and Bosley takes the first pitch low. Foul away. Bruce is going to catch it after that last remark. Either way, we fixed them up pretty good.
Well, I'd say you have to watch out. Big Brother is watching everywhere.
Yes, sir. The six of the 7 individuals indicted on the drug charges in Pittsburgh will be arraigned on Friday in Pittsburgh. Of course, baseball is watching that because if any of the people plead innocent and they hold a trial, there could be some names come out of there, baseball players' names. That's towards second. The grass is long, but the Braves are going to turn it. That ball started to slow up as it went at Glenn Hubbard. Beautiful double play turn because Bosley runs very well. But you could see the ball. It was slowed up as it went toward Hubbard.
Well, the grass really is tall. Last year you had to use a machete when you walked through the infield, especially on the left side. Ramirez has a strong arm, and that's how the Braves were able to turn too.
Well, as we've mentioned, you can keep the grass, the infield, any way that you want it. The Braves wet down their infield when the Cardinals came to town. This is going to be out number 3 as Spire grounds to Hubbard, so Rick Mailer has sailed through 3, allowing only 1 run, a homer. We go to the 4th, 3-1 Atlanta. The bleacher bums of the past, as you take a look at the bleachers, could come out here and buy a ticket the day of the game, and they would just flood out here. Well, because they have few tickets, they making them buy them on a reserve seat basis. Here's Hubbard, and here's John.
And Hubby goes after a low curve. The count is 0-2. Well, there's a demand for the seats. They're putting in as many seats as they can. It's a great ballpark, and they would be foolish if they ever moved from it. Just like the Red Sox would be if they moved from Fenway. 1-2 on Hubbard. He'll be followed by Rick Mailer, then the top of the order, Claudell Washington. The Braves with 3 in the first, lead at 3-1 at the end of 3. Count evens 2-2. Kind of important, really, for the Braves to get a little momentum going in these 2 games against Chicago. Atlanta will be home beginning Friday night for a 2-week homestand, the longest of the year. Let's face it, the Braves, they're going to contend, have to get something going. There's strike 3 right on the outside corner. Hubbard didn't like it, but it was a good pitch by Dick Ruthven. And the replay will show it. That is painting the outside corner. That's a good pitch. Rick Mailer ended the first inning by bouncing back to Ruthven. And he'll bounce this one to Boa and be thrown out too quickly away in the top of the 4th. While we have a chance, the director of sports sales for TBS, our old buddy Jim Trahey, is out here in the ballpark today with some of our great sponsors, people from Turtle Wax, True Value, and Heinz. I hope they have a good time and maybe get a chance to see the Braves win a ball game on the road. Claudell Washington led off the ball game with a home run. Now he's 1 for 2. And the breaking ball in for a strike. Lays off that breaking ball. 1-1. Claudell has had some problems recently, but by and large, he's been pretty consistent. Of course, Murph has been truly consistent. And the rest of the Braves hitting attack has suffered a lot of production troubles early. You know, all those phrases about early, this is the Braves' 48th game. 54 games is 1/3 of the year. So it isn't terribly early anymore. Jody Davis has a chance and throws him out. Nothing across for the Braves in the top of the 4th, and to 3.5. It's 3-1 Atlanta. Which was higher than that, so the count 2-0. You see some of the stats on Davey. He's doing a great job filling in right now for Gary Matthews in left field. There's a strike. That was a terrific pickup by Dallas Green right near the end of August last year. Getting Davey Lopes, a guy who could fill in for Sandberg and Say and any of the outfielders. The count 3-1. Lopes doing the job with the bat and also on the base paths where he's stolen 15 out of 16. Terry Harper will make the catch, 1 away. And Bull Durham will come up for the Cubbies. While we have a chance, our director today is Tom Smith, and his mom Bobby is recovering from recent illness down in Florida. Mrs. Smith, we wish you well. And your son is doing okay.
Oh, he's doing fair. Fair.
Almost okay. Bull takes it inside, ball 1. Friends are here from Statesboro, Georgia. Dave Williams and Alan Hackler in the ballpark today. And also Mark Moore is here from Columbus, Georgia. There's a base hit for Durham. Now Leon at first base with 1 man out. And the tying run comes up, and the person of Keith Moreland, who has the Cubbies run today with a home run to left field. Show you what stats mean or sometimes don't mean. Before that home run off Mailer, lifetime Moreland was hitting 143 against Rick. And Mailer hung a curveball up. Pitch down low, ball one. Braves lead it 3-1. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Moreland has always been and probably will always be a good hitter. Line drive type hitter. The Braves are playing Moreland to pull with Harper very deep in left and Murphy pulled over in left center a few steps, but Moreland is very much a right field hitter. There's a strike.
Looks like the wind is blowing in now, John.
I can't tell. I hope you keep telling me this because those flags go in different directions in center field.
I think it's blowing in more than it was when we started the game. It's blowing toward right then.
And maybe the shift in the wind is the reason for the Braves shift on Moreland. Claudell Washington is playing as deep in right field as you can play a right-hand hitter. And he's way over in right center field. A tremendous gap between Murph and Claudell. There's Claudell. Moreland tries to go that way and fouls it off. And I mean, Moreland really hits where the Braves are not playing him. He hits a lot to right center field. There he is. You see Murph pulled over and Claudell. Durham has the lead at first base. He has good running speed. And the count of 1-2. Breaking ball bends outside. 2-2. If you missed Steve Shields' first start in Pittsburgh, you'll have a chance to see him tomorrow. We'll be on much earlier at 1:05. Ernie's pregame at 1:05. And then Steve Shields against Scott Sanderson. Harper in short left will make the count. That's if you're in the Midwestern time zone, it's 1:05. But if you're in the Eastern time zone, it's 2:05. And of course, if you're on the Pacific Coast, it's even earlier. Nova Scotia has a different time. We go everywhere. Two-way, here's Jody Davis. Who takes a strike. Jody struck out by Mailer. He didn't like the call on a very slow breaking ball. That was back in the second inning. The Cubs are another National League team that hasn't really begun to hit the way they can. They're a good hitting team, the best hitting team in the National League last year. Durham goes, and the throw is in time. Cerrone really drilled a low bullet to Hubbard, and Durham tagged himself out. And for the Cubbies, no runs on a hit. They don't leave anyone at the end of 4. As we'll go out on Cerrone's good throw. The score, the Braves 3 and the Cubbies 1. Atlanta leading at 3-1. Although Dick Ruthven's made a pretty good comeback in this game, the Braves had scored thrice, had the bases loaded and 1 out in the top of the first, and Ruthven probably a man away from being derricked and scratched back. That's going to be a base hit, I believe. Ramirez. No, Durham got him. That's a nice play. Durham had to catch the ball with a runner coming in the baseline, and he made a nice tag.
First basemen have been injured on this particular play. In fact, Keith Hernandez last night was hurt for a spell because the throw was into the runner. Say to Durham, and watch the collision right here. He's all right.
I saw Moose Skowron break a wrist that way.
And Earl Torgerson separated his shoulder. It really destroyed his shoulder. He was reaching into the runner more than on this play, though.
That's it high and deep to left center by Murph. And the ball is caught. You see the wind take that ball? That was going to be a home run. The wind took it and brought it in. Remember, Ernie last inning said the wind has changed and is blowing in, and Murph loses a home run to the wind.
An hour ago, it's a homer. Here at 20 after 4, it's a big out as the wind has shifted. Here's Horner.
And you saw Bosley go back and all of a sudden have to come in a couple of steps. Bob Horner with 2 outs, top of the 5th.
Want to compliment Rick Cerrone on the way he's improved his throwing. He showed it again just a bit ago. Chris Spire throws out Horner. Spire positioned behind second base.
And so the Cubs had Horner played perfectly. That'd be a base hit if the second baseman isn't standing behind second base. Well, the Braves hit it hard and had nothing to show for it in the fifth. Nothing across, and to 4.5. Braves lead 3-1.
Skip Caray, Pete Van Wieren with you now. It's still 3-1 Atlanta. Davis called out on strikes his first time. And he strokes a single to right, this time up there. That brings a potential tying run to the plate in the person of Ron Cey.
We'll see some hitters hit a little differently in a day like this. The right-hand power hitters like Jody Davis don't try to pull the ball quite as much on a day like this when that wind's blowing in from left field.
Dennis and Chad Wente from Sioux Falls, South Dakota here rooting for the Braves. So is Brandon Sorensen from Grand Forks, North Dakota. That ball hit deep right. Washington looks up. It's gone. Tie game. Jody Davis missed second base, but he got back there and tagged it. And now he'll come the rest of the way around. That's number 10 for Cey. And just like that, we got a brand new ball game.
Ron Cey is picked up for the Chicago Cubs. That's, as Skip said, his 10th homer of the year. But he's hit 5 of them in his last 11 ball games. He got off to a very slow start at the plate. Still doesn't have a very high batting average, but that puts him up among the home run leaders in the league. So he hit that ball the opposite way into right center field. 10 home runs now for Cey. And a tie game.
And Larry Boa, the batter. He bunts, but foul. It's 0-1.
Cey is third in the National League. Murphy has 13. Jack Clark of St. Louis 11. Ron Cey 10.
The count to Larry Boa. And that was the 8th home run ball thrown by Rick Mahler this year. In this his 95th inning. That's a little bit high. The let up there. It's high and away, and it's 1-1. Boa below 200 on the year. He hit the ball hard his first time. And he hits the ball hard this time. And Mahler is getting pummeled here in the 5th. 3 straight hits. There's a look at Don Zimmer running through the signs. He's the third base coach for the Cubbies.
Well, that familiar problem that plagues all pitchers from time to time, beginning to show a little on Rick Mahler, is getting that ball up this inning.
And you see he's been struggling a little bit of late. Rick Camp will go to work in the Atlanta bullpen. Ruthven will bunt, of course, and it is a good one, and Mahler's only play will be to first, where Hubbard takes the throw, and the lead run is in scoring position with 1 out. It's a 1-4 sacrifice. And Thad Bosley is the batter. He's hitless in 2 trips. Tom Smith directing our game here this afternoon. Glenn Diamond, our producer. Fly ball left center. Should be easy for Terry Harper. There's the second out of the inning. The runner is still at second. And Chris Spire, the batter, he has struck out and bounced out. We're tied at 3. Braves home Friday night against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers in Saturday and Sunday afternoons as well, followed by the Giants, the Reds, and the Astros. A 2-week homestand for Atlanta kicks off Friday. Go-ahead run at second with 2 out. Mahler looks him back.
Dodgers have announced they're pitching for that weekend series. Jerry Royce will work Friday night. Oral Hershiser Saturday afternoon. Fernando Valenzuela Sunday afternoon.
Again, Mailer looks the runner back. I guess ours is a little unsettled. Bedrosian Friday.
Bedrosian Friday. After that, either Mailer and Shields or someone else in Mailer, depending on what Eddie Haas decides to do.
Hubbard in to talk it over with Mailer. Now Spires steps up. Fast strike over the outside edge, 0-1. The outfield shades Chris slightly toward left field. There's a strike. It's 0-2. Spire didn't think so much of that one. He and Terry Tata have not seen eye to eye this afternoon. The 0-2 with 2 out. Breaking ball missed low and away. A ball and 2 strikes. Boa with the go-ahead run at second. 2 out. Let's see what we come up with on the 1-2. Little looper to Chambliss, and the inning is over. He hit that right off his thumb. But the Cubs battle back to tie the game. The 2-run homer by Say, the big blow. There were 3 hits in the inning, 2 runs, no errors, a runner left. We've completed 5, tied 3-3.
STP wants you to look at certain parts of your car.
It's a Cubs hat. There's a few of them around the ballpark. They must sell those here.
A lot of big-headed people in Chicago. There's Terry Harper to lead off the 6th. Ruthven has held the Braves without a hit since that first inning. Harper has bounced to third, bounced to short, has driven in a run. Laid off, it's 2-0. The rain is a very, very light one. Not enough to make them even think about halting play here. Three and out. Ruthven has issued 4 walks in the game. He has struck out only 1. There's one of those Cub hat umbrellas. We should do the same in Atlanta if we don't. The old automatic right down Peachtree, and it's 3-1. He lost it. 5th walk. Go-ahead run at first for Atlanta in the 6th inning as Harper takes the pass. Here's Chris Chambliss, who has walked on both plate appearances, probably because he wears Mr. Ruthven out. In his career, Chris 13 out of 33. That's .394 with 5 home runs against Ruthven. Pete Van Weer and Skip Carey with you from Wrigley Field. The left-hand hitter waits. Over the outside corner. 0-1. Chambliss takes a long look at his third base coach, Bobby Wine. Harper back easily. Harper almost always slides going back into the base. It's become a habit with him. And 2 to Chambliss. Giants lead Montreal now 5-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Strike 3. Chambliss argues about it, but he is called out of there. Terry Tata is having a tough afternoon, pleasing everybody on either team here. Strikeout number 2 for Richmond. Here's Rick Cerone, who singled home a run in the first and wrapped into a 1-4-3 double play in the third. And Glenn Hubbard moves on deck. The pitch to Cerone is a strike, and it's 0-1. Throw to first. Harper easily back. Braves could be doing some hit and running here. They did so successfully in the first inning. Dale Murphy hitting. Corked into right field, but no carry to it. Moreland waits. 2 out. Here's Glenn Hubbard. He's flied to center and been called out on strikes.
Saw Keith Moreland wearing sunglasses out there. There is absolutely no sunshine today, but you're seeing more and more outfielders do that on overcast days because that ball can get lost up there in the gray.
He's also got the lamp black on under the eyes to cut down the glare as well. There's a good look at the Braves' second baseman. Well, rumors swirling around the ballpark today about Ken Oberkfell about to be traded. We don't know if there's any truth to that or not. Oh, and 1 to Hubbard. An interesting story from the wire services. UPI. John Tudor ought to buy us dinner the next time we see the Cardinals. A friend of his watching WTBS the last time he pitched against us spotted a flaw in his delivery. Called him up, and Tudor thinks the guy was right. Deep short. Boa's got to play at second, and the inning is over. Nothing doing in the 6th. For Atlanta, no hits, no runs, no errors, and another runner left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Tied 3-3. 3-3 ball game. It's 1-1 to Lopes. He's hit the ball hard twice. He singled and lined Harper in left field. 2-1. Well, considering the terrible weather, a great crowd on hand here. A little bit high. It's 3-1. Mailer upset with himself.
This weather kind of caught everybody by surprise, too, because the weather has been very mild here in Chicago up until, I guess, Sunday it started to cool off for the first time.
The 3-1. He lost him. First walk of the game comes at a bad spot. Lopes, a good base stealer, a good base runner, and he carries the go-ahead run at first base with nobody out. Rick Camp goes back to work in the Atlanta bullpen, and Leon Durham will hit. Wind continues to blow in. That ball is well hit to left field. The wind will help, however, and Harper doesn't have to move, really. One away. Here's Moreland. He has homered and flied to left. Wouldn't surprise you to see Lopes do some running here.
Lopes has only been to bat, counting this game now, 85 times officially, so he hasn't played much. He's already got 15 stolen bases.
Throw to first, runner back. We'll be with you at 2:05 tomorrow afternoon here on TBS. Ernie Johnson will have a pregame show for you. Game time itself slated for 2:20 Eastern time tomorrow. A ball, the count to Moreland. You see, he's been doing it of late. Close play, Lopes back. Jerry Crawford makes the call. I tell you all the terrible things Jerry's brother Joe says about him. Joe, the basketball referee.
No.
Says their dad insisted that first the throw to first, closer play, but Lopes back. This is Joe Crawford talking about his brother, claiming that their dad, Shag, decided that Jerry was so ugly he wanted him to wear a mask most of the time, and that's why he was named an umpire. That's what Joe Crawford said. I don't subscribe to that.
We'll have to check with Jerry, get his side of the story.
We probably should. In fact, we may just have to do that tomorrow.
I think that we definitely should.
So, Joey, if you're listening, it's your advantage, but your brother gets to serve. He had a home run cut. He foul tipped it into the glove of Cerrone. Count evens 1-1. Close play. Lopes got back. We're in the bottom of the sixth, tied up 3-3. Pitch out, nothing happening. It wasn't a good pitch out either. The 2-1. Strike or fastball. There's Rick Camp getting ready. Brian Snitker watching him heat up. Runner going. Cerrone's throw is a good one, but he got in there. Lopes stole it.
Pretty good throw by Rick Cerrone. Lopes has been caught stealing only once this year. That ended a string of 33 steals in a row for him over the last couple of years. Bruce Benedict gunned him down, and Rick Cerrone almost got him there, but he's in for his 16th steal of the year.
And he's in scoring position, and a 3-2 pitch is due Moreland. Curve popped him up out of play into the seats. So we'll have the 3-2 all over again. Braves got 3 in the first. Cubs answered with 1 in the second, 2 in the fifth, and they threaten here in the sixth. A little tap right back to the mound. Naylor looks the runner back, throws to first, 2 out. And there's a good example of your depth perception on the mound being affected. He reached for that ball about 3 times before it got there.
And we almost had a disaster there because Mailer was very concerned about Lopes trying to move from second to third. He began to turn to check the runner at second base before he fielded that ball. It got away from him, but not far enough to affect his recovering and throwing on to first. If that ball had rolled 4 or 5 feet further away, we might have had another base runner.
Eddie Haas on his way to the mound, and my guess is that he's coming out here to ask who Mailer feels more comfortable pitching to. He's got first base open. Jody Davis is the scheduled hitter. Ron Cey follows him. Both had solid base hits their last time.
Career-wise, coming into the game, the statistics say pitch to Cey and walk Davis. Davis coming into the game was hitting .455 lifetime against Mailer. Cey only .214, but Cey is hot right now. He had his 10th homer of the year his last time up.
Let's see how they play it. They are going to pitch to Jody Davis. Now we'll see how they pitch to him. Low and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. You get your money's worth out of Jody Davis if you're the Cubs. Well, he wants to catch every day. Tried to golf a low pitch right out of here. He hit it foul, and it's 1-1. The pilot of the Cubbies, Jim Fry, looks on. Downstairs, 2-1. Camp is ready if needed in the Atlanta bullpen. Swung and missed a big, slow curveball. 2-2. Lopes at second, 2 out. Tie game, 3-3, bottom of the 6th. Came in on him. Little pop, short right field. Hubbard on the run, and it's a 4-3 game. Naylor made a good pitch. He tied Jody up. But he's a big, strong kid, and he got just enough of it to drop it into right field.
Well, this is the old, it'll look like a line drive in the paper. Jody Davis got a pitch down and in, got sawed off a little bit, popped it into shallow right field, but got it just far enough to be beyond the reach of Hubbard, and just far enough in to be out of the range of Washington. That's his 18th RBI of the year, and the Cubs have a 1-run lead.
And the wind was a factor there. It was blowing that ball away from Hubbard as he desperately tried to track it down. Here's Ron Cey. That's just bad pitching luck for Mailer there. Strike on the inside edge. It's 0-1. So the stolen base pays off in a run, and it's 4-3 Chicago. Let up curve is a beauty. 0-2. Missed inside, a ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Braves haven't had a hit since the first. Ruthven was perhaps 1 hitter away from being hooked in that first inning. But since then, he's pitched brilliantly. A ball and 2 strikes here to Cey. Chambliss, as you see, holds the runner on. There's another drive to deep right. Washington is going to get this one. Right at the fringe of the track, and the inning is over. He hit the daylights out of that ball, but didn't get it up quite enough. A run on a hit. The only walk Mailer has surrendered comes home to roost. There were no errors. A runner was left. At the end of 6, Cubs 4, Braves 3. He won 6 innings, allowed 8 hits and 4 runs through 2 home run balls, struck out 3, walked 1. And that is not overly good news if you're a Braves fan. Boy, the Cubs do lead after 6 right here. Carey at 220 with a homer and 5 runs driven in. He had his first major league home run here in Wrigley Field last year. Dick Ruthven delivers. Right through there, 0-1.
Baylor, 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, all orders, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 2.
The 0-1 let up, bounce foul. He's quickly in the hole, 0-2. It will be Perry, Washington, and Ramirez in the Atlanta 7th inning. Just missed the outside corner, 1-2. Looped into short left field. On comes Bosley. He's there, 1 out. Here's Claudell Washington, and this is how he started the game for Atlanta. Boy, he jumps all over those pitches down below the belt.
I think that's why you see so many pitchers work him upstairs. You don't see many hitters pitch too high in the strike zone, but you do see that with Washington because he has gotten a lot of hits, especially home runs, on pitches down around the knees or even lower than that.
We could use another one right here. Ground ball. Durham, good played. Ruthven does his job, 2 out.
Key to a play like this is the pitcher getting over there. Many times you'll see a pitcher break late when he thinks the ball is going toward the hole, but you saw Ruthven break right away. Durham got the ball, and when he turned, there was the pitcher waiting for the throw. And they got Claudell.
2 out for Ramirez. The Giants beat the Expos 5-1 today. Folks, it grieves me to report to you that if this stays like it is, following that which has already occurred, our Bravos will be in the basement. High fly ball, left center field. Lopes calls for it, and Ruthven breezes through another inning. 1, 2, 3, nothing doing. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Cubs 4, Braves 3.
Of the season, all but one have been in relief. And the 2-0 is just outside, 3-0. Warren Brewster up now in the Chicago bullpen. Ruthven is on the on-deck circle. We'll see if he hits or not. Might depend on what Boa does. Count 3-1. If Boa gets on, you may see Ruthven hit and try to bunt him over. If not, we may see a pinch hitter. It's 4-3. Chicago are in the bottom half of the 7th. And the 3-1 to Boa. Bounced toward first. Chambliss, nice play. He'll take it himself. 1 down. And now let's see. Dick Ruthven will bat for himself. He'll get a nice hand. He was hearing from the Bluebirds in the first inning when the Braves were scoring 3 runs and 4 hits. But since then, he shut down the Braves without another run or another hit. 1 ball, no strikes. Total in the house today of a little over 23,000. We'll get the paid for you as soon as they pass that along. Hubbard will gobble this one up. 2 gone.
I think it was 23,052 paid and 23,9 something in the place.
A good crowd for a rather uncomfortable afternoon at Wrigley Field. Thad Bosley, the batter, he is flying to left and into a 4-6-3 double play, then fly to left again. One ball, no strikes.
Only gospel recording artist, I guess, in the major leagues, huh?
He has 1 album to his credit. Down the first base side foul. 1-1. You see those signs all over the neighborhood as you approach Wrigley Field. They also sell T-shirts indicating that preference from neighborhood residents. But just last week we learned all the World Series games this year, and probably from now on will be played at night. What if the Cubs make it?
What a miss. What a miss.
Here's the 2-1 delivery toward left center field. That'll fall for a base hit. Camp got that pitch up, and Bosley has his first hit of the game, hit number 9 for Chicago. The batter will be Chris Spire, the second baseman who has struck out, grounded to second, and popped to first.
I wonder where they would play the World Series. In St. Louis? Comiskey Park?
I don't think Chicago fans would stand for it being moved out of the city if the Cubs got to the World Series. One rather innovative suggestion we heard last year was that if the Cubs get in the World Series and they insist on playing at night, have baseball furnish every fan with a miner's cap. That's a fair ball down the left field line toward the Cubs bullpen. Bosley heads for third. They're going to wave him. Here comes Harper's throw toward the plate. They've got a chance, and out at home is Thad Bosley. A perfect throw from Terry Harper. And the double by Chris Spire does no damage as Harper saves a run with a perfect throw. So no runs, 2 hits for the Cubs in the 7th. You look at it again. We go to the 8th inning. Score remains Chicago 4, Atlanta 3.
Great day, huh?
Some airlines seem to see how far they can push you.
Puppy?
Not Delta. We'd rather see how well we can fly you.
How about that movie, huh? Just give it a good chance.
And now with movies on selected Delta flights.
Hello?
So why be pushed from here to there
Puppy?
when you can relax and fly Delta? Delta gets you there in style.
Oh, my arm.
Rub something on it.
I got Ben Gay. I don't want to go back to work smelling like Ben Gay.
Don't. Try Sports Cream. It smells nice and clean.
Does it work?
Sports Cream has a strong, clinically tested pain reliever. It starts to penetrate immediately to relieve sore muscle pain.
No workout today?
Sure. I feel great. Why?
You, usually smell like Ben Gay.
Not anymore.
Sports Cream, the fast-acting pain reliever that smells great.
America's team, the Atlanta Braves, go to Wrigley Field to battle the Cubbies. Live at 2:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS tomorrow.
Tonight, Humphrey Bogart stars in the steamy drama, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, at 11:05 Eastern Time. Greed, jealousy, and suspicion pursue 3 hard-bitten men, doesn't say bitten by what, in their lust for gold. Tim Holt co-stars. Treasure of the Sierra Madre, 11:05 Eastern on CBS.
Gary Woods takes over in left field. Thad Bosley gets the rest of the day off for Chicago. As we go to the 8th inning, time running out for Atlanta, trailing at 4-3. The heart of the order, Murphy, Horner, Harper hitting there against Dick Ruthven. Good chance for the Braves to do something about that lead. Lee Smith has now joined Warren Brewster in the Chicago bullpen. Murphy with a single, a walk, and a fly to left. That's Smith on the left of your screen. Brewster on the right. The count 2-0 now on Murphy. Ruffin gave up 3 runs, 4 hits in the first inning. Has not allowed a run or a hit since then. He has walked a few people. He's walked 5 in the game. Here's the 2-0. Caught the corner, 2-1. Ruthven's always been tough for the Braves. 11-4 lifetime against the team he used to pitch for. Just missed outside, and the count 3-1 now on Murphy. And he lost him. Walk number 6 issued by Dick Ruthven. And it brings on Bob Horner, who was walked it into a force play and grounded to second. The only other day game in Major League Baseball complete in Candlestick Park. San Francisco beat Montreal 5-1, and as Skip mentioned an inning or so ago, if the Braves fail to rally and win this one, San Francisco will move a half game up on Atlanta. The Braves will drop into the basement.
They say it's always darkest before the dawn, but how dark does it have to get?
Very frustrating season. Jim Fry sent Ron Cey over to the mound to stall a little bit and give the bullpen a little more time to get ready. Now he's on his way out. And since we are in the 8th inning, we will probably see Lee Smith brought into the game here. And that's who it'll be. Ruthven will get a fine hand as he leaves. He's pitched a great ball game after a very shaky start, giving up 3 runs, 4 hits. It looked at one point like he would not survive the first inning. But not only did he survive the first, he's made it all the way into the 8th and now has a 1-run lead. And so Lee Smith will try for his 13th save of the season. He'll be facing Bob Horner with Murphy at first and nobody out in the 8th. And while he warms up, we'll take time out for this.
Like a lot of other guys, I like to keep up with sports on TV. Baseball, football, and hockey, basketball, tennis, boxing, you name it. Now we can get the latest scores at our convenience on CNN Headline News. Every 30 minutes, CNN Headline News gives us the sports. At 20 minutes past the hour and 10 minutes before the next hour, around the clock. Sports on Headline News. That's convenient. Look for Headline News on your cable system or call your cable operator to get it.
There's only one place to turn for super movies, the Superstation. Here's what you can look forward to. Super movies are coming soon on your Superstation, WTBS.
There you see the record Lee Smith has put together this year. He's one of the best relief pitchers in all of baseball. Take a look at that strikeout situation. 40 strikeouts and 32 in the 3rd inning. Smith has faced 126 batters this year, and he has struck out 40 of them. That's 29%. He is making his 20th relief appearance of the season. And he has only failed twice in trying to save ball games this year. Of all the hitters on the Atlanta Ball Club, the one who's had the most luck against Lee Smith in his career is this man, Bob Horner, adding 500 lifetime against Smith, 7 for 14.
They've really changed their defense now, haven't they? Look at the difference in where the right fielder plays.
That's out of respect for the 90-mile-an-hour plus fastball. Deep center field by Horner. Lopes going back. He'll slow down shy of the warning track, make the catch. Horner had a good cut, but didn't quite get enough of it. And as a little sunshine breaks through here at Wrigley, a very little sunshine, Terry Harper will step in. Harper is grounded to 3rd, grounded to short, and walked. He drove in his 19th run of the season when he grounded out in the 1st. been called. If time had not been called, Murphy would have been on his way to second base. Harper takes a strike, 0-1. One of the stranger ball games of the year back on May 17th. Back in Atlanta, game won by Chicago 7-5. He had two of the best relief pitchers in the game, Lee Smith and Bruce Sutter, working, and both got roughed up. Smith gave up 2 runs and 5 hits in 2 innings. Sutter gave up 3 runs and 4 hits in 1 inning. Smith wound up getting the win. Murphy is going on the 0-1. That's a strike, and Jody Davis will have no throw. And Dale Murphy has his first stolen base of the year. That's hard to believe that it would be June 4th before Murphy stole his first base this year.
He got a tremendous jump. Van Davis had no chance. He was off balance, and Murph made it easily.
The count 0-2 on Terry Harper with the potential tying run now in scoring position, 1 man out. There's the 0-2. Fouled away.
Harper really the key to the inning here with first base open. Chambliss, the left-hand hitter next. They may, if they get Harper, they may choose to pitch around him even though he is the lead runner.
Murphy down at second with 1 man out. Braves have been out hit today, 10-4 by the Cubs. Here's the 0-2. Missing low, 1-2. One thing about a hitter facing a Lee Smith, you know what to look for. He throws fastballs most of the time. Once in a while, a slider. He just tries to overpower you most of the time. And here's the 1-2. Popped it high in the air, shallow left field. Boa waving Woods away. Now Woods calls him off and makes the catch. Murphy has to hold at second. There are 2 men out. And now we'll see whether they do pitch to Chris Chambliss or not. Usually you don't walk a hitter here because he would represent the go-ahead run. Jody Davis not indicating that an intentional walk. In fact, he was signaling to the infielders to try to knock the ball down. If a ball gets hit toward the hole, just to try to keep Murphy from scoring. Chambliss today has walked twice and struck out. Making his first start in a month. That was the Lee Smith fastball, 0-1. The 1-strike delivery. Line toward left field. Woods toward that line. Grabs it. And the inning's over. No runs or hits. A walk, 1 left. Bottom half of the 8th coming up. Score remains Chicago 4, Atlanta 3.
Hey, give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. A Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Oh, can I have a light?
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Hi, I'm Dale Murphy. I want to tell you about an exciting...
Due up against Rick Camp. Important for Rick to hold the game right where it is now. Give the Braves one more shot at tying it up in the ninth or taking the lead. Davey Lopes takes a strike, 0-1. Lopes has singled, flied to left, and walked. He has stolen a base. He has scored a run. That's his second hit of the game. Hit number 3 off Rick Camp. Hit number 11 on the afternoon for Chicago. And we don't need to tell you that Lopes needs to be watched here. 16 steals and 17 tries this year. The batter, Leon Durham, who has struck out, singled, and flied to left. On Durham, the Braves bullpen going back to work. Jeff Dedman heads down toward the bullpen mound. Lopes gets back. Left-hander Larry Gura throwing now in the Chicago bullpen. There's Dedman throwing for Atlanta. Camp chasing Lopes back. Larry Gura recently signed by the Cubs after being released by Kansas City.
Jeff Dedman now warming for Atlanta. Jeff Dedman.
Now the 1-1. High in the air, shallow left field. That'll go nowhere in this wind. Terry Harper there to make the catch. Lopes remains at first with one away. Now Keith Moreland, who hit his 4th homer of the year in the 2nd. He flying to left in the 4th. Thrown out pitcher to first in the 6th. Couple of country music fans facing one another here. Rick Camp and Keith Moreland. One ball, no strikes. Two-0 the count on Moreland, batting with one out, a runner at first. In the bottom half of the 8th inning, Chicago with a 4-3 lead. Now it's 2-1.
I suppose we should mention once again that in case you joined us late, the Braves have not had a hit since the 1st.
Been a very mysterious year for the Braves. Now again, Lopes chased back by Camp. There goes Lopes, the 2-1 pitch, grounded toward short. They'll never get him at second. Ramirez has to play it on to first in time. Lopes got a huge jump that time on Rick Camp. Had he not gotten such a jump, or had he not been running, the Braves would have had another double play and been out of the inning. Instead, it's a runner at second. 2 men out, and Jody Davis, the batter.
And this would have been, without any question, his 500th career stolen base had Moreland not chopped away at the ball, but it does get him into scoring position with 2 out for Jody Davis.
Davis has had a good afternoon after a strikeout in the 2nd inning. He has singled twice to right field. He has scored 1 run and driven in 1. That RBI that he had in the 6th inning put the Cubs ahead. But there's nothing new about Jody Davis having a good day against Atlanta. 0-1. That's a big hitter for Rick Camp to get here. The Braves are only down by 1. If they're down by 2, it makes it that much tougher. Not a very profound thought, but true nonetheless, and the Braves are going to be down by 2. Here comes Lopes around to score from third. It's 5-3. Jody Davis strikes again. His second RBI of the game, 19 for the season.
Have to talk with Jody tomorrow. He used to be such a dead pull hitter, and today we've seen him go the other way quite a bit. I wonder if that's something he's been working. It looked like he was really weighted on that ball. Pulled it just a little bit. You're right, it is tough. Very tough.
Ron Cey was homered in 3 at-bats. The part of the batting order that's given the Cubs the lead today, hitters 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Moreland's driven in 1, Jody Davis 2, and Ron Cey 2. Cubs now with 12 hits in the ball game. They lead it 5-3. Look out bullpen. And fans seated near the bullpen. It's 0-2 on Ron Cey. And the 0-2 pitch. Drilled in the hole. Base hit left field. Jody Davis stops at second.
This is the same Rick Camp that, what was it, 4 nights ago, pitched 5 brilliant shutout innings against Pittsburgh. In an inning and 2/3, he's given up 5 hits, all ropes. Hard to figure.
The batter, Larry Boa, who's flying to right, singled and grounded to first. 13 hits now for Chicago. They lead it by 2. We're in the bottom half of the 8th. Getting away from Cerrone, but not far enough for the runners to move. No speed at all on the bases now for Chicago. It's Cey at first and Davis at second. Here's the 1-0. 2-0. Boa has indicated this may be his final year as a player. He would like to become a manager, a major league manager someday, but he says he's willing to go to the minor leagues to learn to manage. Here's the 2-1. Out slowly toward Hubbard. Bobbles it. Everybody's safe. I think Hubbard got screened for a moment by the runner at first, Ron Cey, who stopped almost directly in front of Hubbard to try to avoid getting hit by that ball. They're loaded now for Lee Smith. Lee Smith 0 for 4 as a hitter this year. In fact, in his 4 at-bats, he has struck out 4 times. So to be quite honest about it, Rick Camp in a situation where he absolutely should get out of this inning with no further damage. One and one. There's the 1-1. Downstairs, 2-1. The runner at third, Jody Davis. Ron Cey at second. Larry Bowa at first. 2 men out. 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Almost got by Cerrone, who couldn't find it there for a moment. And Camp has run the count full on Lee Smith. Everybody will be running here. With a count 3-2 and 2 men out, and the Cub fans are on their feet at Wrigley Field. There go the runners. Struck him out with a breaking ball. Camp records his first strikeout, but the Cubs pick up a big 8th inning run on 3 hits. There was an Atlanta error, and 3 men were left. We go to the 9th. And the Braves are 3 outs away from rock bottom in the National League West.
Fly Delta to Europe.
To London. It's the only place to holiday.
And Delta gets you there.
Quite.
Frankfurt and Germany is the only place to have a good time. Well, Delta gets you there.
Come to Paris. Need I say more? And Delta gets you there, too. London, Frankfurt, or Paris. The choice is yours.
Hey, Billy, tell us again about your favorite meal.
Yeah, come on. Okay. First, Mom cooks this terrific chicken. And then, instead of potatoes, she makes stovetop stuffing. Boy, that stovetop sure smells good.
The celery.
The onions.
Those itty-bitty herbs and spices.
Chicken and stovetop stuffing.
Stovetop. You've got stovetop.
No.
Stovetop stuffing.
No.
Tonight at 9 Eastern on CNN.
Hi, I'm Larry King. Each weeknight, we'll turn the spotlight on the people you'd like to meet. Live on TV, candid and always surprising, you get to ask America's newsmakers what makes them tick.
Watch Larry King live tonight at 9 Eastern. Look for it on CNN.
Friday. Society has pushed this man too far.
What's wrong?
If you feel you are not properly sedated...
Robert Duvall stars in the George Lucas sci-fi thriller THX 1138, following Braves baseball on Superstation WTBS Friday.
We go to the 9th inning. Cubs on top 5-3. There's your line score to this point. Rick Cerrone will lead off the inning. Albert Hall has grabbed a bat and moved toward the on-deck circle. Ken Oberkfell swinging a bat in the Braves dugout, so it looks like Eddie Haas will pinch hit for both Glenn Hubbard and the pitcher Rick Camp as Atlanta tries to pull it out. The paid attendance here this afternoon, 23,963. And Lee Smith tries to nail this one down for Dick Ruthven. It looked like it was going to be a pretty good day at Wrigley Field for Atlanta. 3 runs and 4 hits in the first inning. The Braves had a chance to really break it open in the first, but they left the bases loaded. Since then, the Braves have gone not only without a run, but without a hit off Ruthven and Smith. Cerrone has singled in a run, hit into a 1-4-3 double play, and fly to right. One ball, no strikes. Bruce Sutter getting up in case the Braves tie it or take the lead here in the 9th. The count on Cerrone even. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Albert Hall. He'll pinch hit for Glenn Hubbard. Toward right field, that'll fall for a base hit. So Cerrone gets the 9th inning off to a good start for Atlanta with a leadoff single. The first Atlanta hit since the first inning. And only the 5th hit of the day for the Braves. Now Albert Hall. Hall batting 200, 4 out of 20 with no extra base hits or RBIs.
Albert Hall, hitting for Hubbard, Hall for Hubbard.
As a pinch hitter this year, Hall is 2 for 14. That's a 143 pinch hit average. That was not a sacrifice bunt attempt. In fact, it was not ruled a bunt attempt at all as the pitch missed high and away. But Hall, who runs well, has Ron Cey playing in on the grass at third. Now Paul Zavella has moved to the on-deck circle. Bouncing ball back to the mound. Smith to Boa. Double play. Zavella is now called back, and it'll all be up to Ken Oberkfell.
This is an a la carte room service double play ball. Right back to the mound. Nice easy hop. Smith makes a perfect throw to Boa, leads him across the bag, and that's that.
Ken Oberkfell hitting .258 for the season. He has no homers, 6 RBIs. That statistic has been a killer for the Braves all season long. Oberkfell batting with 2 outs in the 9th inning. The Braves just 1 out away from dropping to their lowest point of the season. They would be all alone in last place in the National League West because the Giants won today, beating Montreal 5-1. Oberkfell hearing trade rumors with his name mentioned these days. 1-1. As a pinch hitter this year, Oberkfell 2 hits and 6 at-bats. A .333 pinch hit average. 1-2. Cubs fans are on their feet, looking for Lee Smith to close it out right here. Fouled away, still 1-2. Here's the 1-2 again. Broken bat roller toward short. Larry Boa charging throws. The Atlanta Braves have fallen to the bottom of the National League West. Final score, 5-3 Cubs. Back to the totals right after this.
13-0. They left 7 for the Braves. 3-5-1. They left 6. Dick Ruthven, the winner, is 2-4. 12-4 lifetime against Atlanta. Rick Mahler, the loser, 8-5. Lee Smith, his 13th save. Jody Davis, his 4th game-winning RBI. $23,052 paid to see it.
And if you Braves fans think Green Acres is the place to be, you get your wish. Coming up next on the Superstation, a dismal afternoon at Wrigley for Braves fans. We'll try it again tomorrow, 2:05 Eastern Time. Steve Shields against Scott Sanderson. Until then, for Skip Carey, Ernie Johnson, John Sterling, our director Tom Smith, and our entire TBS crew, Pete Van Weren from Wrigley with the final score once again, Cubs 5, Braves 3. So long, everyone.
Remember, to save all additional charges, send check or money order to Ronnie Millsap, P.O. Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia.
Graham is the new center fielder, a youngster, over from the minor league camp. Renicke's a batter, pinch hitting for Dixon. Gary Rennicke takes outside. New center fielder is Lee Graham. One ball, one strike. Rennicke will be followed by Young. Suter with a 1-1. Little pop towards center. Could be trouble. Ramirez on a nice catch. Almost got himself a bloop single, but Rafael Ramirez with his speed caught up to it.
Ramirez covers a lot of ground here. He was going out. Graham, the center fielder, was coming in. And Rafi makes a nice running catch.
Here's Mike Young, one down. He's 1 for 2 today with a single back in the third. Suter's pitch, missed. And what else is new? Oh, that's a difficult pitch to make contact with. Comes up there and the bottom falls out of it. You'll get a lot of grounders. And, of course, strikeouts. 1 ball and a strike.
A lot of people say if it's such a successful pitch, why don't more pitchers throw it? Well, one reason is it's a very difficult pitch to throw. You've got to have very long fingers to throw that pitch effectively.
They used to call it a fork ball, but I don't believe his is the same pitch, because on the fork ball you don't utilize your thumb. And he uses his thumb to get the ball away through his fingers in some manner. Took a lot of work. Well, did he get it? He did. Cerrone held on. Looked for a moment like he dropped it. That's 2 away. Another strikeout for Suter. He has 3 now, and this is his second inning. Suter will tell you that if he didn't come up with the split finger fastball, he probably would have never gotten to the major leagues. This is Jim Dwyer. Dwyer is up for the 5th time he has a base hit. 2 outs. Ball low. Atlanta leading 4-2. The hits are even at 6. Suter trying for his second save of the spring training season. He's 1 out away. 2-0. Strike call. And the pitch. Hit out in front. Suter to first. In time, Braves win. They were on a collision course, but Suter yelled and Cerrone peeled off, and Atlanta has beaten Baltimore by a final score of 4-2. Back with the totals after this message.
This Bud's for everyone who's got what it takes to make his own brakes.
Are we on? This is Paul Martinez reporting to you from the International Airport.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
From the International Airport, this is Paul Martinez reporting.
Thank you, Paul, and welcome to the news team.
To Paul Martinez, my son.
Now that we're a family, some things have become a lot more important to us. When we had our home insulated, we were concerned about our heating and cooling bills, but we were more concerned about fire safety. So we selected CertainTeed InsulSafe 2. InsulSafe is non-combustible, thermally efficient fiberglass insulation. Sure, saving energy is important to us, but insulating safely is what InsulSafe is all about.
For the latest word on the day in sports, turn to CNN Sports Tonight. From coast to coast, CNN Sports Tonight covers all the action and brings it to you every night at 11:30 Eastern. You'll see the plays that turn the games around. Meet the stars who bring their sports to life. Learn the inside stories from reporters with the inside track. For a full half-hour wrap-up of